Hello, Libra. Welcome to your mid-2020 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a Sun, Moon, or Rising Libra. And I'm also going to be doing the August reading at the end. I'm going to keep that short and just make the focus of this reading about the second half of 2020. So I hope you enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already so you can get more of my readings and stay up to date with everything. Check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing, and if you have any more questions about what I offer, head to the description box for all your heart's desires. Now I'm going to lay this out and then we will get started. Okay, let me explain this reading really quick. So you can look at this as July over here and December being over here. So we just have a timeline, and then I'm going to be filling in the rest of this reading with another deck as we move through the timeline. So let's start with your oracle cards first. So we have Sacred Sexuality. So this has to do with your experience of your sexuality, however that is for you, right? We all have different relationships to that. And so this is going to be a time when maybe you're opening up new layers or accessing different parts of yourself in that area of your life. And so there's a lot of expansion happening here, whatever the case may be. And I want to be clear that expansion doesn't just look like how you might conceptualize sex. That's oversimplistic. This has more to do with your experience of pleasure and also intimacy and also safety. There's so many layers to that. Just consider that it's much, much more than just what you're seeing from the outside or maybe what your perception may be right now. So be open to different layers of that coming to the surface. And then we have the heart. Something's going on relationship-wise. We will see whatever the case may be here, but this is a very heart-centered second half of 2020, and so you have a lot of tenderness coming through is the word that's coming up as I'm reading this. It might be that these two things are kind of being married, like the relationship and expression of your heart and intimacy are kind of playing with each other. There's a lot of lessening around that. And so you have a lot of tinkering around to do with the heart. And also this is going to be a time to pay attention to what information, what wisdom is your heart sharing with you. And we also have story. Weave a fable, share your heroic journey, tell yourself a conscious, loving tale. The story that you tell yourself is really important because it's going to drive your behavior. And once you start acknowledging what you're telling yourself is going to determine or dictate the type of actions that you take, the better off you're going to be. So if you're telling yourself, I'm the type of person who blah, 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 then you're going to behave in a way that follows suit. So once you're able to kind of shape the story that you want, shaping the story that you desire, and making it conscious and intentional, and you're feeding your mind that this is who I am in the right ways, that's what's going to transpire. That's what's going to drive you. Anywho, let's dive into the timeline. So the first quarter, this is going to last until mid-August. We have the Three of Pentacles. So working on yourself or applying consistent, diligent effort to whatever it is that you're needing to construct. This is a collaboration card as well, so maybe there's a lot of people that you're collaborating with, but the primary thing is, like, especially with the door being closed on this card, it's kind of like keeping your nose to the grindstone, buckling down, getting things done, making things happen, just doing what needs to be done is the energy of this card. So I know it's kind of boring. So you're starting off with just tasking. And then to clarify, we have the Nine of Wands. Be careful that this card is like a big fat yes, 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 keep going, you're almost there. It's encouragement, just so long as you don't flip over into the Ten of Wands, which is where things start to become overwhelming rather than motivating. So just keep an eye on your energy levels. Is the action that you're taking inspiring more action, or is it bleeding you dry beyond the point where you can really save yourself? So you're towing the line with that. This is a lot of energetic output. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So all good things, so long as you're telling yourself the right story, and right as in right for you, and you're also focusing on the direction that you actually want to go. Right? If you're building something that doesn't feel good, you need to pay attention to that. Otherwise, you're gonna get notified energetically that it's not right for you. So as long as you're aligned with that, all is good here. Second quarter, Ten of Wands. Okay, so this is exactly what I mentioned here with overwhelm. You got to be careful with that. Let me pull the other card and see a little bit more of the context here, what's coming through. Page of Wands, typically this is an invitation to inspect what's really happening. What are you feeling overwhelmed or stressed by? What is taking too much of your energy or of your focus? The remedy here, just so you know, I don't want to leave you without a tool in this instance. The solution is reprioritization. So if you're prioritizing things that are aligned with you, that make sense for you, that feel really good to you, you can really do whatever you want, and the overwhelm doesn't need to be there. The danger of the Ten of Wands for you has more to do with people pleasing, right? Especially with the heart that's on the table. If you're falling into people pleasing, it's going to bite you because it's going to create this overwhelm right here. So you're going to have to check in as you go. This is more than just your Libra nature of wanting to keep the peace and keep things harmonized. It's much, much deeper than that. It's really about looking at why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you saying yes? Why are you overextending? Why are you behaving or doing these things? Again, look at the story you're telling yourself for more information on that. But I think that if you just clarify why you're doing what you're doing, and then maybe implementing some boundaries where necessary, or pulling back energy from certain areas isn't necessarily a bad thing. But also don't be afraid to say yes to things that feel really good. Don't cut that off, right? Don't starve yourself of good things either, but just be clear about what it is that you're growing and developing at this time. Third quarter, we have the Ten of Pentacles, foundation. So this is how you ultimately get to stability, right? If you're spread really thin, if you're super scattered, if you don't have any energy for yourself, if you're not giving yourself the TLC that you require, you're not going to be able to build a healthy foundation of any kind. And so what this is telling you is once you establish your priorities, your focus, your long-term vision, perhaps, then it will make it easier for you to identify what is it that you want to build on? What is it that you want to do in terms of the foundation that you're creating? You can't create a foundation on an empty tank. You can't create a solid foundation that's made of dysfunction and people pleasing. It simply will not work. So in order for this to be really solid, because this is where we all, I think many of us aspire to be, in the legacy, the foundation, yes, this feels so good, I'm completely supported, it just is going really smoothly. I think this is kind of the gold standard for people, and it's absolutely attainable. You just have to identify where are you overextending in order for this to feel as stable as you want it to be. And there's also something solidifying in this third quarter here. So October, November is where that's starting to come through. And to clarify, we have the Page of Cups. I am having a hard time seeing what the context of this is, and I think there's an element of that that's on purpose. Me not being able to see, okay, the sacred sexuality and the heart are on the table, and there's a story of building and reallocating where you're putting your heart is what's coming through. Where do you want to give heart energy? Right? We don't want to give it to things that aren't good for us. We don't want to give our heart energy to people, places, things, situations, jobs, environments that crush us and make us feel bad. That's not a wise way to spend your heart energy. And so what's coming through here is the Page of Cups is highlighting that you already have the wisdom to tell you what feeling state you want to be in a lot of the time, and for you to double down on that, because the feelings will compound, which is why the foundation matters oh so much. So the Page of Cups is helping you to identify that, and there's like a beautiful naivete that goes along with the Page of Cups as well, in the sense that the Page of Cups doesn't actually know any better than to lead with heart, lead with vulnerability, leading with the emotions that you want to grow. It's kind of like the Page of Cups doesn't actually fear heart energy at all. As a matter of fact, the Page of Cups leads with it in a way that is really foundational. So feelings are going to be a big part of this third quarter foundation, building, solidification, whatever action you have going on here. The fourth quarter wrapping up 2020, we have the Eight of Wands, full speed ahead. Let me see what else is coming through here, because whatever the context, this is like having you take off. The Magician, whatever you've intended. So this answer, this high speed, is going to come from whatever you've been actively creating. So you decide this. You're in charge. You're in the driver's seat. Don't forget that. I'm just getting that the Magician is about an intention that you've either already set, or maybe you can set that now if you're reading it far enough out. But consider, what have you been building? What have you been investing in the right ways? Right ways as in conscious ways. And that is what's going to end up really blossoming in the last quarter of this reading, at least, right towards the tail end, November, December of 2020. So enjoy this. Whatever you've been building is going to flourish. And you have the energy too. It seems like there's enough of a foundation here for all of this to take off. Now we're going to do the August reading. I'm going to keep it simple. We're just doing central energy, what you have shifting out and what you have oncoming. Okay, the central energy for August is the Five of Chalices. Your attention really matters, because what I'm getting here is, like with the Ten of Wands, you always have the option to squander energy, right? Or ruminate about the past, or, you know, hang on to things that really don't feel good to you. That's always an option. But so long as you're able to redirect your focus and ask yourself the big questions of, what am I wanting to build? What is this Ten of Pentacles for you? Because that's actually where you want to put your energy. What is the long-term goal? What is the big thing that you want to build? And lean into that. Double down on putting your energy, focus, and attention there. And then what you have shifting out is the Eight of Swords. This is, you've trapped yourself. Nobody has done this to you. This is mental confinement. This is the experience of being locked in or being stuck. So that is actually gone. I think that you were probably finding comfort in being stuck in whatever this was, but now it's like you have the option of focusing on whatever this stuckness was, which is what the Five of Cups is highlighting, or you can realize that you've been liberated and moving into the next stage, the next chapter. Let's see what the oncoming energy is. 10 of Wands. Yeah, same thing. So we're coming full circle here with where this energy is just having you redefine and refocus, reallocate whatever you want. Because this is all about, don't put your eggs in a basket of something that doesn't feel good. Just don't do that. And then once you trim the fat, then you'll feel a lot better. And then you'll be able to move forward into the 10 of Pentacles, because that's what actually comes after the 10 of Wands. Remember that. Now let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to ask a question, ask for guidance, clarity, whatever you could possibly want. If you need more time, pause the video. Card number 1. 6 of Coins, reciprocity, give and take, energetic exchange. So pay attention in your relationships in particular, or in circumstances where you're giving energy. Really evaluate and audit, what am I getting back? Is this refueling or depleting? Go in with that question, and that's gonna help you a lot. Card number 2, we have the Prince of Coins. So the Prince of Coins is like having you stay on the application of your intentions, the application of your energy. So think about what you're doing does matter and holds a lot of weight. So the initiations, the activities that you're doing, really get clear on the density that holds, because when you're like moving the material, the energetic matters too, but this is putting attention on the material. So the actions that you're taking right now matter a lot. Whatever you're asking about or needing help with, this is highlighting you need to double down on being really clear about what your actions are going to deliver. If those hold the most density, you can think about it that way, then just ask yourself, do I want this density to radiate out into everything else that I'm doing? And adjust accordingly. Card number 3, we have the Sun. Take some time to enjoy yourself, or play, relax, have a good time. This is a childlike, innocent, jovial card. So pleasure-based activities, doing things for fun, doing things for play will be very helpful at this time. I'm getting that this is kind of the remedy here. You need to get out of this situation and into play instead. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure. And before you go, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment if anything resonated. Check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing. And if you would like more content from me, make sure you sign up for my newsletter. Good things come to you in my newsletter, and you can stay up to date on everything. All of the info that you need is in the description box if you'd like to work with me or check out all of the other offers that I have. Just check below. All of the decks that I've used in the reading today are also listed as well. I'm sending you so much love, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.